You've heard of public executions, torture devices, and iron cages, but few punishments were as personal, invasive, and long-lasting as this. Head shaving. Not for hygiene, not for warfare, but as punishment, a public branding of disgrace. For centuries, women accused of sexual misconduct, adultery, or simply breaking moral codes were paraded with shaved heads, stripped of dignity and identity. This isn't fiction. This is real history. And today, we're going deep into the disturbing use of shaving and public humiliation as a weapon, especially against women. Stay with us. In many cultures, a woman's hair was more than just hair. It was a sign of femininity, a symbol of virtue and status, a marker of identity. To shave it off wasn't just physical, it was deeply psychological. Think about it. What does it mean to take away someone's face in society? Their beauty, their pride, their shield. It meant removing power, erasing personhood. In the past, especially in Europe, Asia, and colonial territories, a shaved head was a living, walking accusation. It said, "She is unclean, she is immoral, she is not one of us." In medieval Europe, adultery wasn't just a private matter, it was a public crime, and women bore the brunt. A woman suspected or caught in an affair, true or not, could be subjected to head shaving, public exposure, sometimes naked or half-dressed, parades through the street where people spit, mock, and throw objects. In some cases, the punishment was even codified by law. Take England, for instance. While the courts rarely executed women for adultery, public shaming was common, and this was especially brutal during the Puritan era, where morality became political. But the cruelty wasn't limited to courts. Communities acted on their own. Neighbors shaved the heads of women rumored to be prostitutes or loose. In small towns, this was often mob justice, driven by rumors, jealousy, and misogyny. And once shaved, a woman might be banished, branded, or forced to wear special clothing, indicating her crime. During the height of European colonialism, similar punishments were imported and often intensified. In India, under British rule, women accused of infidelity could be publicly tonsured, a ritual head shaving, paraded through the village, marked with ashes or paint to signal disgrace. In parts of Africa, under colonial influence, similar practices emerged where women were punished not just for sexual behavior, but for political resistance, often involving head shaving or genital-focused humiliation. The message was clear: control the woman's body, control her identity, control the nation. One of the most documented uses of head shaving as punishment came after World War II. In France, after the Nazis were expelled, thousands of French women were publicly punished for being collaborators. What did that mean? Many were accused of sleeping with German soldiers, having relationships with occupying forces, or simply being seen in the company of Germans. These women, often called les tendues, the shorn women, were rounded up, their heads violently shaved, sometimes painted with swastikas, and paraded through towns, sometimes half-naked, sometimes with children watching. Photos of these events still exist, haunting reminders of how vengeance often targets the powerless. Many of these women were young, poor, or mothers, and often the relationships were survival-based, not romantic. And the men they were accused of collaborating with, rarely punished as harshly. While head shaving as punishment is rare in the modern West, it has not disappeared globally. In some parts of South Asia and Africa, it's still used by villagers, police, even families. To punish women accused of adultery, eloping, speaking out against authority, even being raped, where the victim is treated as the criminal. And in online spaces, public shaming has become digital head shaving, viral humiliation, doxing, social exile. The methods have changed, the cruelty hasn't. Throughout history, men and women committed the same moral crimes, Yet women were overwhelmingly the ones punished publicly, marked physically, and excluded socially. Why? Because in patriarchal societies, a woman's morality wasn't just personal, it was symbolic of family honor, national virtue, and religious purity. To control women's behavior was to uphold the social order. To shame her body was to send a message to others that you must obey, that you must be pure, that your body is not yours. And what's more cruel, often it wasn't about guilt, it was about appearances. A woman didn't have to commit a crime, she just had to be suspected or disliked. Imagine waking up one morning. Your neighbors accuse you, drag you into the street, cut your hair, laugh at you, children pointing, elders spitting, people whispering. Your home is no longer safe. Your name becomes a curse. Your future disappears. That's what head shaving really did. It wasn't just about punishing the moment, it was about branding you for life. Some women never married again. Some were driven to suicide. Some went into exile. The scissors were just the beginning. As we look back at this brutal history, it forces us to ask, what do we still do today that mirrors these old punishments? We may no longer shave heads in the street, but ask yourself, do we still police women's bodies and choices? Do we still punish people more for embarrassing the community than for actual crimes? Do we still believe that public shame is justice? And perhaps the most haunting question, why do so many cultures punish women's sexuality more harshly than men's violence? Let that question sit with you.
Thank you for watching. If this video made you think, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, do you think public shaming has any place in justice today?